Hi, it's Hans at thehappierman.com. Today's topic is create perfect affirmations for yourself. I think we've all heard about affirmations, right? Which are uh, little, fairly short sentences you create about how you would like your life to be, right? And what you want to do is do the affirmations. The more you can get your affirmations going, the better you create one and create a perfect one for yourself. The better off your life. Sorry, your life is going to go. Uh, and what I mean by a perfect is you want to spend time figuring out, well, what should my affirmation be? I would go to the coffee shop and spend as many hours as it takes, and it may take multiple times over multiple weeks or months to develop your perfect affirmation, something that you can see yourself growing into over the years. And it can be something that you kind of are already and you want to just become more of, or it's something that's a little bit beyond where you're at now and you want to get to that level. So I have kind of like a a 2 sentence affirmation, and I think that's part of the key is the perfectness of it is you don't want it too long. You don't want multiple paragraphs or lines. You want it to be fairly brief. That's something that encapsulates what your life, what your concept of your life ought to be. So mine is like a two sentences. Uh, it has things to do about health and wealth and a few things along those lines. So I don't want to tell you because it's my affirmation, and I think it's critical that you spend time figuring out what your affirmation ought to be. And again, time. You need time to create some time for yourself to work on this affirmation. Perhaps you buy a few books about affirmations or go online and read about more of that, but it's critical. And the brevity, the briefness of it in a perfect affirmation is something that you should be able to write down in a few sentences. I may have talked about my little journal book, but I have like a little journal book. You can see it's kind of small, and they're small. I fill them up, and then as soon as I fill one up, I have to buy another one. And I've got multiple ones of these journal books. They normally last, I don't know if you can see how thick they are, 3 or 4 months or so. If I've got a lot to write, and maybe even less. If it's been in the early days when I started this journal book idea, maybe about 8, 9, 10 years ago, there would be less writing in them. But the point of all this is at the beginning, when I start a new journal book, right at the first couple of pages, I'll write my perfect affirmation in there. And then as the weeks and months go by, I'll rewrite that affirmation. So that same one will be written multiple times in this little journal book, along with the other things that I put in here, like what I'm planning, what are my successes, what are my frustrations that I want to work on, what are my goals that I'm working on, what is just kind of the normal things you put in a journal book, kind of a day-to-day what's happening type of thing. So I think, the affirmations, basically, you want to think of this affirmation as your concept of yourself. How, if you have this idea of how you want your life to look, what would the affirmation be? What would the concept be? And then write that down in your journal book and keep writing it down as often as you need to get it firmly embedded. So now, I have it in my journal book, but in addition to that, I say it to myself from time to time to remind myself of how I want my life to go. So give that idea some thought, all for now.